Like most people, when I first got into photography, I worked entirely off my laptop. Of course, over the years this slowly changed, and one of the best purchases I ever made was getting my first monitor. So up until about a month ago, I'd been using that same monitor. This was when I teamed up with George's Cameras, my local camera store here in Sydney, to test out the BenQ SW271C. So big shout out to George's for teaming up with me for this project. You can check a video I did with them over on their channel talking about the BenQ monitor as well. For me, I've slowly been adding to my desk over the years ever since purchasing my first sit to stand desk, which I can highly recommend to everybody. It makes a big difference. So now with a quality photography monitor, I feel my setup is finally complete. For my full setup at the moment, I've been running the BenQ as my primary color grading monitor. I'm now using my old monitor as a second screen, which is an LG 4K monitor. I've actually placed this in portrait orientation. I did this for a couple of reasons. One, it feels a tiny bit more minimal, taking up less desk space, but I'm also getting quite used to working in Premiere Pro and Lightroom in this orientation. So for me, when deciding on a new monitor, there's a few things that I'm definitely looking out for. The first one as a photographer, of course, is color accuracy. Now, first of all, having decent sRGB coverage, but if you can, it is well worth it having good Adobe RGB coverage as well. The SW271C offers extremely precise color accuracy, has 100% sRGB coverage and 99% Adobe RGB coverage, and even comes factory calibrated right out of the box, which is super handy as well. Next up is a simple one, but size is really important for me. 27 inch is all I typically look for. It's large enough, but it's not too big, as I do like to keep my space a little bit more minimal. Next up for me, having a USB-C connection is really important. As I work off my laptop, it's really handy being able to charge the laptop from that same connection. It just reduces clutter and cables. Lastly, looking at the LCD panels, if you can stretch to an IPS monitor, you will really notice the difference. This is my first time using one, and for color important work like photo and video, you are really going to notice the difference. It also gives you such a better viewing angle. There's also a few additional things that I've been loving on the BenQ SW271C, which I feel I couldn't go back to after using. The first one, of course, is the hotkey park in combination with having hardware calibration. So what this means is basically at the click of a button, you can flick between different calibration profiles or different color spaces. So I've got mine set up for video editing work. I can switch over to Rec 709 at the press of the button, and then back to Adobe RGB for all my photo work at the click of a button. Another thing that blew me away about this monitor, firstly, just the display from corner to corner is absolutely stunning. You will find it gives a beautiful matte look to your photos, especially compared to, say, Apple devices, but it means you can actually see your blacks properly. You also have a lot of control how you like your screen setup when you're using the BenQ calibration software, which I've been using. You also have access to 2 USB ports as well as the SD slot, which is really handy. The monitor also comes with this awesome stand as well as a shading hood. I haven't actually been using the shading hood, but it can be really useful for those important projects or anything where you're working with a lot of ambient light around you. The only slight negative that I could come up with for this monitor is the size of the bezel. But for me, it is a little bit of a trade-off for the color accuracy and quality that you're getting from edge to edge on this display. It is worthwhile putting up with. It's all powered by the new MacBook Pro M1 Max 14 inch, which has totally sped up my workflow and was a very worthwhile upgrade for anyone considering. Sometimes when doing color work, I do also open up my laptop. This is just so I can see my edit on a super contrasted screen, which Apple displays are known for. Keyboard and mouse, I've got the MX Master 2S, which is a bit of an older mouse now, but still has amazing functionality, which you can set up individually for different programs. And the Keychron K1 keyboard, which I've loved. For me, it's been a great transition into mechanical keyboards, so I can really recommend it if you've never actually used one before. I also use the Loupedeck CT for a lot of my editing work, which has been an awesome inclusion to my desk. This is plugged in directly into the BenQ. I have recently posted a video on this. If you're keen to check that out, I'll link it above. Lastly, essential to my workspace, all the plants I have. I also have a felt desk mat from Oakley wood, a few other sentimental items scattered across, and of course some coffee beans that I like to give a good old sniff every so often. So this is my current desk setup. Thanks so much for watching. I have linked all the items down below if you want to check them out. Of course, the real hero is the BenQ monitor. It is an expensive monitor, but if you're considering it for color important work, it is definitely going to be a worthwhile investment. All right, keep creating, keep growing, my friends. I'm TKNORTH. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.